But here, he's here to talk about another passion, writing children's books.
Greg, I mean, you still look 20, so I don't even know how that's physically possible,
Thanks,
do you?
Sean.
It's unbelievable.
Thank you.
But as well as radio and smashing it there, you are smashing it in the kids' book world. Again, rivalry with you, Dermot.
No rivalry. we are stronger combined.
You're strong,
Our powers combined.
Strong together. The Kid Who Fell Through Time. This is your 9th book, Greg.
Out today.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's out today.
Happy publication.
How on earth-
Yeah.
When do you find the time to be writing these books?
Good question. Well, you know, you do a breakfast show. You can have, if you have a nap, you can make a productive afternoon out of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, nice.
I've been writing with Chris Smith, my wonderful friend, for nearly 10 years now. Started with the Kid Normal series, then we had Super Ghost and The Great Dream Robbery, and we did Twits book last year for the Roald Dahl story.
Yeah,
We did
great.
the Twits Next Door. I came on, actually talked about it on this morning, not so long ago. And now we've got The Kid Who Fell Through Time, which is our first time travel story, and we had such a laugh writing.
How does your writing process work? Like, do you do a chapter and then send it to him, and he does a chapter, send it to you? How does it work?
We actually brainstorm it in the pub.
Yeah.
Great.
Brainstorm the whole plot, workshop all the voices, because that's a huge part of it. We want these books to come alive.
What, so you're doing that, the character
We're doing the
voices?
characters in the pub.
Oh, you can. So if anyone sees you sort of going, hello,
Yeah.
don't
Get a
think
room in
what's
the
the
pub.
plot.
And just do it in a pub.
In the pub. Yeah.
So just like people come up and go, all right,
Yeah.
Greg, let's talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
what happened on the radio today. You're like,
Yeah. And I'm there going, I'm evil Emperor Crag. Or things like that.
Great.
Is it
And
the same pub?
Same pub.
Always a quiet pub.
Yeah, always fun.
Yeah, yeah.
All the locals obviously think that you've lost the plot from years of radio, but actually...
They know that.
They know that anyway, but
Yeah.
also on the side, great books coming out of it.
Yeah, well, we want them to be read aloud, really. We want kids to not be scared of books, not to be scared of reading, because there's a lot of stuff to read.
Yep.
And at school, you're forced books and things, and that has to happen sometimes. But we want them to enjoy books for pleasure. Audiobooks, reading them out loud with your friends or your mum and dad or your big brother or big sister. That's how we do it. And Chris and I have workshopped these books for ages. We just go, what's the funniest, silliest, stupidest story we can tell? And can there be some sort of message in there as well? And this one we really love because this is a kid called Angus who doesn't really want to do his history homework.
Right.
He goes, what's the point? I don't care about people who were around 5,000 years ago. Who cares? What does that mean? So he time travels back to the time that he's studying and then delivers the greatest homework he's ever delivered.
What's his vessel? How does he time travel back there?
Oh, good
I'm glad
question.
you asked.
Great question.
I'm glad you asked, because that was one of the early brainstorms. We went, how are we going to do this? And it's a shopping trolley with a wonky wheel.
Yeah.
Oh,
He just finds it.
perfect.
It's the first one back.
Well, so he meets Marge, who runs the cheese counter at the local supermarket.
Yes.
Marge is from Arges.
Marges from Marges, very good.
And she is renowned in the area because she can find the greatest cheese ever. And all the customers are like, where's this cheese coming from? And she goes, I can't tell you that, dear. But it actually comes from the ancient times or cheese from the future.
Oh, so she's getting them from the past.
She's got a little hooky
Sneaking
deal.
them onto
She's
her
got a hooky
counter.
deal with some Romans.
Of course.
Yeah,
the
so
Romans
the
and
idea is that Angus is the kid who just goes, do you know what, I don't know why this is interesting. This is boring. So he goes back to ancient Egypt, goes back to ancient Rome, goes back and hangs out with Shakespeare. Emmeline Pankhurst turns up. He also goes into the future to meet a horrible villain from the future. We had such a good time writing this.
Yeah, and didn't you say it's actually a very funny... Like, you said it was
Yeah.
funny, but it's one of your funniest books you've done.
Well, I like to think so. Yeah, it's really fun. We had a lot of fun because the idea of writing something about Shakespeare, because we know a lot about him, we know a lot about the Romans, but sort of twisting that is funny. So we came up with the idea of that Shakespeare's hair loss was due to time travel because obviously you're travelling at warp speeds.
Love
So
that.
your hair goes, and that's so there's little bits in there. But there is actually some good historical stuff. We went to the British Museum and did some days out there. We did lots of reading around the Key Stage 2 stuff and be like, let's get this as right as possible, but also mess with it a little bit.
In terms of plot, how does it kind of, not how does it finish, but what's the, you know, has he got an enemy?
Well, he's got to save the world.
Right.
Angus has to save the world from evil Emperor Crag from the future,
Yeah.
who's seen everything and is then in charge. So we've got to also make sure that all the trolleys from the various time periods get back to where they're supposed to get back
Brilliant.
to.
This is the thing with time travel. You start
Difficult.
altering the past, don't you, and making all sorts of mistakes
Very
along
tricky.
the way.
Moral questions.
A lot of
along
moral
the way.
questions.
You do an audiobook as well. Who does the audiobook? You or Chris? Or
So Chris does the narration,
Yeah.
OK.
and then I do all the voices.
You're
that's
the characters.
great.
Yeah.
So go on, give us some of your characters. And so you've got Crag. What's he like?
Evil Emperor Crag from the 99th century.
99th century.
99th
nice.
century, loads in the future. There's actually a new character called the Fact Pig. The Fact Pig pops up, and he's a really annoying fact pig who goes, did you know that in ancient Rome they used to use moss instead of toilet paper?
Right.
I love that. So there's a little bit of learning in there that you're sneaking in with the fun.
And then we sort of slag the fact pig off and say, like, all right, and that's enough, you're interrupting the story. So they're very interactive books, and we want the readers to sort of feel the presence of me and Chris in them when we're telling them the story.
Did you, when you first started this, because I sort of fell into writing children's fiction, I just had an idea, and it happened to be a kid's book.
Toto.
Right? And then it's only when you start doing school tours then it sort of hits you that actually people are reading these books.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's that moment where you meet a parent and they go, well, my kid reads because they love the book. That's the moment that hit me like a frying pan in the face.
Yeah, yeah.
Is the same happen to you? Like when you do the schools tours and you actually go and meet kids, and they dress up for World Book Day or something, you realise how important it is for children to be reading and parents to be reading to children.
Yeah, it's actually the greatest joy of doing them because you get to go and do assemblies and you get to just be in front of these amazing imaginations. And actually when a kid sees an author, they go, oh, it's a person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like when I first saw a radio presenter, I went, oh, it's just a bloke. Yeah. Oh, I could do that. Yeah. Maybe I could do that if I grow up one day.
Yeah.
And the same for being an author. You sort of want to get rid of the mystery a little bit and go, no, you can do this. This is a thing, you should write some stories, and this is not a complete sort of mystery to you. And also I think it helps them go, oh, maybe books are... I get that. You sort of see the person who's written it, you get that they're sort of into it and everything, and actually just being in front of all those ideas is very inspiring, actually.
The funniest thing is when you meet kids, because most of the kids know your books better than you know your books.
Oh,
so they'll come up and just like pull you up on stuff. They'll go, in book 2, you said Toto's favourite cheese was camembert, but in book 5 it's cheddar, and you're like,
Yeah, they're brutal.
You are very good, aren't you? Let's just sign it for you. Off you go.
Brutal reviewers. In fact, there was we were doing this show in Manchester, this radio show in Manchester the other day, and this kid, he must have been about 18 or 19, came up to me and he was dressed in all like a big North Face jacket, and he looked a bit shifty. And I was like, oh, what's going on? He went, Greg, I just wanted to say, like, yeah, what? You want my phone? What's going on? He went, yeah, I read Kid Normal when I was 10.
Oh,
like,
nice.
First book I read. I was like, oh my God, I feel so old.
Yeah.
But that's amazing that you read those books
8 years ago, and now it's
that long
18.
ago. But it's that everyone has got a favourite book, and everyone's got a book that they fall in love with reading through, hopefully, and that's what we should desperately try and do. And that's what, as children's authors, we want to do, and all authors want to do that, and make sure that people are reading and enjoying stories, because it's not just about finding books and enjoying and getting lost in those stories. That's an amazing thing, but actually some of the stats around literacy rates are devastating. And it's not about, oh, yes, well, we read Dickens and, Charlie read Dickens when he was 8. It's not that. It's more like you won't be able to send an email if you can't read. You won't be able to get a job. You won't be able to pay a bill. You won't be able to read a road sign. I think so. Yes, it's wonderful to do funny books and all that sort of stuff, but actually there's a really crucial bit at the heart of it, which is you just got to read anything for pleasure, whether it's a graphic novel, a comic, something fun that you've seen in a magazine. That is reading, and it's not just about you have to sit down and read Chaucer. Find something that you enjoy as a kid, and I think that opens up a whole world, really.
Yeah. I think it's brilliant. I think it just works as well. I mean, I know I've heard you do some sort of radio show in the morning. I'm not 100% sure what time it's on, because I have too busy doing...
I'm actually here to steal you for my show, because you got Jordan and Chris. I'm taking you to Radio 1 if that's right.
Is that how it works?
You up for it?
Oh, OK.
That's 1 for 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why not? Just all swap out and do each other's...
Just swap
out. Or just join forces.
Greg's latest book, The Boy Who Fell Through Time, is out today. Well done, Clever Clogs. Lovely to see you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for letting me be on.
Thank you so much for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning.